Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Rock Plays YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday, December 24th. It is Christmas Eve, so tomorrow we won't be here for the college football breakdown, but I'm going to say it in advance, Merry Christmas to everybody out there. Hopefully everybody has a great Christmas and you get everything you want. You get to spend some time with family and eat some good food. That's what holiday seasons are all about, just being with family and being with friends and just soaking all that in. But we have one game to talk about on Christmas Eve, and it's not going to be a normal breakdown. Would have broke the games down on Monday, had a lot of problems with the setup, had a lot of problems with the apps that I used for graphics and for recording, so just didn't happen. Hopefully that never happens again, but we are going to be looking at the Tuesday matchup between San Jose State, Wednesday matchup between Tuesday matchup between San Jose State and South Florida. Before we do that, I do want to recap the plays we had for the weekend. Penn State didn't look really good in the first drive. SMU had a chance to go score. Kevin Jennings, if he makes that throws at the tight end, could have been a completely different game. But Penn State, after that throw, just dominates. A couple pick sixes also by Jennings did not help the case. The wideout did work for Penn State. They roll, winning that game easily. We did have Clemson plus 13.5. I should have bought the hook. It really wasn't a competitive game, but it was at the same time. Clemson had a lot of chances to cover that spread. They were only down by 7 with a couple minutes left. Breakaway touchdown for Texas really hurt us, but that's okay. Take the loss there. 0-2 down the player props. Tyler Warren just never got it going. He got close to the player prop. I think he had 50-some yards, but they just really didn't need him. The Penn State defense was doing everything in that game. And then the last player prop was Bryant Wesco. He had a catch on the sideline with a couple minutes left. Almost got it in. He almost got it in, just barely on the line on that catch on the go route. I think it was like maybe a minute and a half left. Fantastic catch, really good throw. He just had a toe out, but that would have hit if that catch would have stood. But that's okay. We're going to move on. We are going to move on to the game between South Florida and San Jose State. I am going to do something a little bit different today. No graphic. Graphic thing's really still not working. So we're just going to do this, and I'm going to put myself, where should I put myself? Here? Does that work for everybody, I guess? Works for me. Works for me. Let's go over to the game. We are going to be looking at San Jose State going up against Florida. Both these teams this season haven't had the best season. South Florida sitting at 6-6. San Jose State sitting at 7-5. We do have some news for South Florida. Their backup quarterback, Archie, is going to be playing in this game, but I did want to point out that their starting quarterback this season, who was Byron Brown, he is a very athletic guy. He's a dual threat kind of guy. He has not played in several weeks. Actually, it might be months by now, but he is projected to potentially give it a go in this game. Head coach for South Florida came out, said if he's healthy, he's going to play. He's been taking snaps for the last couple weeks, trying to get his leg ready to go. If he does play, that would be a massive boost for South Florida. I don't think he'd be the starter, but he would definitely be in some packages, and that can open up a lot of things for South Florida. Offensively, they are pretty good this season. You're looking at a top 50 team in the nation this season, scoring 42nd right now in the country, scoring 31.6 points per game. The defense has always been a problem for them this season. I think the defense is going to be a problem, though, for both these sides. San Jose State, I felt like last year San Jose State was really good defensively. Not so much this year, but San Jose State this season, they're giving up a lot of points per game. Looking at the numbers right now, offensively for San Jose State, 325 yards per game, 132nd in rushing offense. That is horrible, horrible, horrible. But this team, 5th in the nation in passing. That's where I'm going to go look for my player prop today with the quarterback for San Jose State. But looking at the defensive numbers for San Jose State this season, giving up 26.4 points per game. You know, it's a healthy mix of everything. They're not very good at stopping the run. They're not very good at stopping the pass. They're just below average in both of those defensive categories this season. I do think the spot San Jose State can hurt South Florida the most is with the passing attack. They have that 5th best passing attack in the nation. And looking at the quarterback for San Jose State, it's kind of weird because he hasn't been like overly great this season. I watched that game against Stanford. He was missing a lot of throws, but we are going to have Walker Egan. I am going to take his over passing yards in this game on the season. 2,200 passing yards came in for Emmett Brown middle of the year. Emmett Brown was having, fantastic start to the season. First 3 games, he was on a roll, 300-plus yards per game. Back-to-back games, not very good. Egan came in. Over the last several, you can see the numbers there for him. 300-plus passing yards in 3 of the last 4. UNLV is a top-tier defense. I'm not going to hold him against them too much on that game, but that was definitely a game San Jose State would have liked to win. Coming off that game against Boise State also, I mean, it was probably a down spot for them anyway. But look at the numbers against Boise State. Boise State in the college football playoffs. Boise State got a bye in the college football playoffs. 446 yards, 3 touchdowns, couple interceptions. That's been a problem all season long for this San Jose State team. Also, kind of why I like South Florida as well. 28 turnovers for San Jose State. If you want to say a positive note for that stat, they've also forced 28 turnovers. So the turnover margin is 0, but South Florida, if they can cause some turnovers, I like them even more in this game. The play is going to be South Florida +3. Player prop today is going to be Walker Eaget over his total passing yards. I did want to point out a couple more things for this game, and I think it's the biggest thing that we can talk about. Let me go back here to the stats. You see the numbers for Eaget. He's been a good quarterback for San Jose State, very reliable guy besides the turnovers. 9 interceptions, 11 touchdowns, whatever. That's okay. Let's take a look at the receiving corps. You have 2 guys that are nearing 1,000+ yards. Nick Nash, absolutely robbed for best receiver in college football. I understand he's not playing against the best opponents, but he had the Triple Crown. You've got to give it to the guy that got the Triple Crown. Touchdowns, yards per game, catches, 104 catches, 1,382 yards, 16 touchdowns. I have been hit or miss on these, opt-outs for bowl games, but I am almost positive Nick Nash is not playing in this game. I am seeing it everywhere. Nick Nash opting out for the NFL draft. That makes the most sense because a fantastic wide receiver is going to go play in the NFL. He is not playing in this game. So this San Jose State offense, they got to find 104 catches, 1,382 yards, and 16 touchdowns. More like 10 catches, 100 yards, and a couple touchdowns. That's going to be a hard task. That's going to be a really hard task. And with Nick Nash not drawing a double team, that's going to lock up Justin. They need these other guys to come through. I do think they will be able to pass the ball into the South Florida defense, but it is going to be a lot harder without a guy who got you 1,400 yards in the season. Play's still going to be Walker Eaget to go over his passing yards because I think South Florida is going to put up a big number. So I'm going to take Walker Eaget over passing yards and South Florida +3 as the plays. Hopefully we get the double package with the quarterbacks of South Florida. But even if we don't, I like them +3. And, should be a fun game to watch. Christmas Eve. At least you have something to watch on Christmas Eve with the football games. But let's take a look at the recap graphic before we get out of here. We are going to be taking South Florida. I guess I bought the hook. We're going to go +3.5. I don't want to tie. I don't think it's going to be a field goal game. I think South Florida can win, but I'll take the hook just in case. Other play is going to be Walker Eaget over his passing yards. Haven't seen anything out yet, probably because they're still dealing with some people opting out. They need to change this next season with the transfer portal. The bowl games, they don't even matter unless you're in the college football playoffs. And we've had some players in the college football playoffs even leave their team. So they got to figure this out. Hopefully they can fix this in the next couple of years and let players stay, play their bowl games, play the entire season out. But that's going to do it, guys. The NCAA football plays and props for Tuesday, December 24th. If you guys enjoyed the content, please share, drop a like on this video, subscribe channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.